Yo, what's good? It's your boy Derek Branch here of Saint Discussions on Strike Seven Sports, and today I want to talk about the latest news concerning the New Orleans Saints as they make it official now. Now that the Super Bowl is officially over, Klint Kubiak is now the official offensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints, and with that move, um, that entire side of the ball on the offensive side of the football is being overhauled. The entire staff pretty much has been you know, reimaged, if we're being honest. And it starts with Clint Kubiak. And to be honest, this is a much needed move, that needed to be made. That changed to the offensive side of the football in regards to their, coaching staff. I felt as though Cordy Burns and Ronald Curry did a really good job, especially towards the end of the season. But given the fact that I'm not saying Curry, not Cordy Burns, but Ronald Curry, Pete Carmichael, Doug Marone, all those guys pretty much came over from the Sean Payton regime, and that was a mistake right there by both Dennis Allen and um, Mickey Loomis when Dennis Allen was hired during that time of transition. They Peyton left. Peyton quit for that year, and they pretty much just went ahead and hired Dennis Allen to become the head coach and not allow him to bring in his own people. So they hired him and just kept the coaching staff there. And people thought that was going to be an easy transition and all that, but it wasn't because different people respond to other people in different ways. That way Dennis Allen is not Sean Payton. That staff was accustomed to the way Sean Payton was doing things. And I'm pretty sure that Dennis Allen was a change of pace. This ain't me knocking Dennis Allen, but it would have been better if the entire coaching staff would have been, let go, let those guys pursue other opportunities, because a lot of people were afraid that once Sean Payton left, that the entire staff was going to be poached, and people felt as though you could have just let Dennis Allen stay. Well, excuse me, keep the coaching staff without Sean Payton and let Dennis Allen run it. But as we notice now, we have 2 years. We have 2 years of evidence that Dennis Allen needs to have his own staff. Now, is that staff going to work? This new staff is going to work? We're going to find out. Last year, they overhauled the defensive side. This year, it was the offense. Now, if you ask me, this is a year too late. But it is what it is. They're going to go through with this. So you got Clint Kubiak, offensive coordinator. He's also bringing along his own quarterback coach, Andrew Jonico, who will be taking over for Ronald Curry. Um, and, you know, he's the guy that's going to be working with Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? So he was Kubiak's Clint Kubiak's QB coach with the Minnesota Vikings, and he was working with Justin Fields, and it's interesting hire, you know. And he was under, I believe, yeah, he was under the watch of Lou Getsy in Chicago when Lou Getsy was the offensive coordinator. Getsy's, I believe he signed with he's hired by the Reds to become their OC. So it's good. It's now. I'm glad that we're finally letting Dennis Allen get his own staff on both sides of the football. So that way, when if it does crash in 2020, 2024, shoot, it is what it is. It's on Dennis Allen. We can no longer go back to saying, well, Sean Payne did this. Sean Payne left the team with, a messed up cap situation. Left the team with a jacked up quarterback situation. Nah, it's all on Dennis Allen now because you got the quarterback that you wanted. You got the offensive coordinator that you wanted, and you let the offensive coordinator pick his staff, and you got the defensive personnel that you wanted to be on your side of the football that you know about. That's the way your area of expertise is at. You got the coaches that you want on both sides now. So to me, and you probably gonna would agree with this as well. This is how it's supposed to work. It's expected to work. Dennis Allen hired this guy, Klint Kubiak, to become his offensive coordinator, and Dennis Allen is handing him the keys to run that side of the football. And I'm pretty sure that the goal is that Dennis Allen could stay out of the offense's business and focus more on what he's really good at, running the defense, putting those guys in position to succeed, and that way, and you let Clint Kubiak handle the offense, which is a huge key to the team's success going forward, especially in the current landscape that we're in the National Football League. Because I think that you can be, middle of the pack and still win a championship, but you can't be middle of the pack on offense. You can't have a really good defense and struggle to put up points and not win football games. Like your defense can't wet the bed in big huge situations when you have your offense struggling. And that's what the Saints have been doing. If we can become, and hear me out when I say this, if we can become Kansas City, where we our receivers are, I mean, I think we got better receivers than the Chiefs, we all know, but if we can become the Kansas City Chiefs in that way, in that matter where we have a really good defense and Derek Carr, gets the job done, don't turn it over, make big plays, we'll be a really good football team. But the thing is, difference right now between the Saints and the Chiefs is that the Chiefs got to equalize that quarterback with a really good defense. That's scary. But anyways, man, this is how it's supposed to run, in my opinion. Kubiak, your defensive Dennis Allen as a defensive minded head coach. You hand over the reins of that offense to Clint Kubiak, and you're supposed to trust him to run it and not have your fingerprints all over the situation. Let this guy run the side of the football, which is his area of expertise. So they made the announcement today, official. Clint Kubiak is Saints offensive coordinator. So I'm just go ahead and look at the stats. They got some of the rankings that, the rankings of where the 49ers offense was ranked while, Kubiak was a part of that staff, was the passing game coordinator, played a huge role in Brock Purdy's growth from year one to year two. So San Francisco was ranked second in the NFL in total offense with 398.4 yards per game, including forward and net passing yards per game, 257.9. San Francisco was also first in the league in red zone touchdown percentage. That's interesting. 67.2, fourth in the league in third down conversion percentage, 47.5, and was tied for sixth and fewest turnovers in the NFL. Brock Purdy completed 308 of his 444 passes 69.4 percentage for 4,280 yards and 21 touchdowns and only 11 interceptions, and the league best 113 passer rating, and the NFL best 123.8 in the full quarter. So, man, that's really impressive, man. That's really impressive. Now, the question is, can he do that for Derek Carr? Can he do that for Derek Carr? That's gonna be the biggest. That's what I think. That's like the biggest storyline heading into OTAs. Mandatory OTAs, training camp, the preseason. Can he unlock that other aspect of Derek Carr's game? Can he do that? Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the numbers that were put up while when Kubiak was a part of San Francisco 49ers coaching staff as the team's passing game coordinator, offensive passing game coordinator. So this I got some more information on the other things that other places that Kubiak has been as an offensive coordinator, and this is when he was with the Minnesota Vikings back in 2021. So Minnesota was number one in fewest interceptions thrown, first in fewest giveaways, first in 15 plus yard gains, fifth in fewest sacks allowed, fifth in passer rating, sixth in 25 plus yard gains, seven in 40 plus yard gains, ninth in red zone TDs, ninth in passing TDs, 11 in passing TDs, 12 in yards gained, 12 in yards per play, 12 in yards per pass, 12 in passing DVOA, 13 in completion percentage, 13 in second half points scored, 14 in points per play, 15 in first half points scored, 15 in fourth down conversion, 16 in touchdowns, 16 offensive DVOA. This is a lot, man. I don't think this is bad, man. I think this is really good to me. This is pretty good to me, you know. And despite these numbers, he was fired that year because he went to a situation where Mike Zimmer was pretty much made the playoffs or get fired. And that's what happened. They didn't make the playoffs that year despite having a really good offense. Justin Jefferson had a solid year, a really good year that season. Kirk Cousins as well. But, it wasn't enough to keep the jobs. And believe he went on to Denver to become their OC. But at that time, Russell Wilson had lost his mojo, lost his swagger as a playmaker at quarterback, and Nathaniel Hackett was in over his head, so he lost that opportunity. So he went right back. He went to work with the Kyle Shanahan under that family tree and become San Francisco's passing game coordinator. So you got to take the good with the bad. He got fired both times because the situations that he was going into. Going into a situation where Zimmer was like a lame duck coach. After multiple seasons of not making the playoffs, they had to make the postseason that year. It didn't happen, so he was let go. Denver, like I said, Nathaniel Hackett was in over his head, and Russell Wilson had lost his mojo. So he gets another opportunity to prove himself as a really good as to being a really good offensive coordinator, a really good play caller. You know. Now, what I'm gonna do these next couple of days is go back and look at some of these games where San Francisco, played during the 2023 season and just see how they, I want to see the games where they blow people out, how that offense was utilized. Just play close attention to how they use their personnel. You know, certain games we're going to pay attention to is the game where San Francisco blowed out the Philadelphia Eagles, and other game where they blew out Dallas Cowboys. Because I think we can see a lot of where they were really good at, you know. But also, man, so with this move, it also signified that some changes are going to be made in regards to certain personnel, certain positions in the way they are, structured, with the way they are built. If you look at San Francisco's offensive line, they're not these huge maulers. They're more about being athletic offensive linemen, guys that are agile, they're swift, they're quick with their hands and on their feet, that can move around when it's time to run the football. These are the type of the guys that allow a Kyle Shanahan type offense to succeed. And that's what Dennis Allen wants with his team. He wants that type of offense imprinted on his organization on the offensive side of the football. You know, so we may not have those type of players. I'm not sure yet. It depends on what they're looking for in the draft or in free agency. But I know that's one of the positions they're going to be looking at where we could see a potential overhaul to certain personnel groups, you know, because because as potent as Kyle Shanahan's offense is, it's really about the running game. It's really about how good they can run the football. So we'll see how that's going to play out down the road as we head into NFL Combine, NFL Draft, NFL Combine, free agency, training camp. We're going to see what moves they're going to make. Because you got Andrew Pete coming up. He's going to be a free agent. Haven't heard anything new on Ryan Ramczyk. His health condition, his status, and Trevor Penning, who has been pretty much labeled a bust, but from according to what Mickey Loomis says, they're gonna get that guy up to speed. Now you got this new OC in. I don't know what he's gonna say, you know. So that's something else to look out for as well. All right, and also I'm just going to talk about another move that was made today. Saints hired Derek Foster to become the new running backs coach. Derek Foster spent 3 seasons with the LA Chargers, and according to this story, is that Austin that at the time when Foster was with the Chargers and they had Austin Eckler there. Eckler scored 44 touchdowns altogether, which led the NFL in both 2021 and 2022. He had 18 in 2022 and 20 total touchdowns in 2021. So the Chargers rank in the bottom third of the league in rushing each of Foster's 3 seasons there. But they also rarely ran the ball, never finishing higher than 22nd in rushing attempts during his tenure. The rest of Foster's coaching experience has come in the college ranks. He began his career working at FCS schools in the mid 2010s, and including a 3-year stint at Northwestern State in Natchitoches before jumping to the FBS level in 2018 with Iowa. Foster is no stranger to New Orleans, as he was responsible for recruiting the area during his time at Northwestern State. Lynn Clark, who now coaches at George Washington Carver High School in New Orleans, played under Foster at Northwestern State. All right, so that's a good move. I think that's a really good move for a guy like Alvin Kamara because last 2 years, the Saints running game has not been good. It's been stale. It has been since I would say since 2000 since 2022. Saints running game has not been what it was. It's not gone back to its 2017 to 2020 levels, you know. And hopefully a guy like Derek Foster could bring some fresh ideas to that Saints running game, to that Saints running back position. And this is only part of the puzzle, you know. But I think it's a very important part of the puzzle because, as I previously said, the regardless of how potent, how flashy the 49ers offense may look, the Shanahan system may look, it's built off the running game. And you gotta have a really good running backs coach that can, develop those players. Because I want this thing to be to where if Alvin Kamara does go down with an injury, God forbid, then we could put a guy in like a Kendrick Miller and we don't miss a beat. Similar to how things ran in San Francisco, where you had back at one time you had a guy like Raheem Mostert, you had your Jerick McKinnons, Matt Breeders, Elijah Mitchell, Christian McCaffrey, Jeff Wilson. You had multiple guys in there that could get you, 120, 150 yards, couple touchdowns, and still win a football game. That's what this running game needs to be like. It should strive to be like, you know? So that's what I'm expecting, man. That this does not turn that we don't become a very elder like I think we already are a Alvin Kamara dependent team to a certain extent. But if we could get out back to those 2017, 2020 levels where Alvin Kamara is a weapon, more of a versatile weapon than a bell cow running back running north to south, I think this could be a really good football team. And we got guys like Kendrick Miller. I don't know what happens with Jamal Williams, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe he can get something out of Jamal Williams. I don't know, but right now you got three backs. Taysom Hill can be a wild card. He could be going to another team. I don't know yet, but right now you got three backs, three natural running backs at the position, excluding Taysom Hill, Jamal Williams, Alvin Kamara, and Kendrick Miller. You know, so things are starting to shape up with the Saints, man. Things are starting to shape up with this team. Um, Still a lot to go. Free agency coming up, combine. They still got to fill the wide receiver coach's position and interview. I believe the interview with somebody today for that opening, and we'll probably hear something on that front probably in the next couple of days. But things are starting to shape up with the Saints. Klint Kubiak is officially the new offensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints, and you can honestly say that it's on DA. It's no more. Oh, it was Sean Payton's. You carrying over Sean Payton's relics and his people. Nah, that's no longer the case now. They're giving him the tools to go out there and win. But I'll talk about that I'll elaborate more on that later in a different setting. Just here to, break down the hire and to bring us some list a couple stats that, teams put up, offenses put up with Klint Kubiak as their play caller. So we'll see how it play out in the next couple of days. All right, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Also, check out Sim Discussions on Strike Summer Sports. That's Saint Discussions on Strike Summer Sports. SaintDiscussions.com for latest content on the Warren Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out. Who that?